Chapter 5, Section 4, Part 2. We're still dividing polynomials, but today we're doing a different type of technique to divide. We're going to learn synthetic division. So here's a little step-by-step instruction on what we have to do. It's easier just to do it and explain it as we do it, not really walk through the one that's given to us. So let's take a look at our first example. So just like before, we need to make sure all of our terms on the inside are represented. So we start with an x squared, then we have an x all by itself, and then we have no x, so we're good. We're not missing any terms, so we're okay there. Everything on the inside is going to go inside our little box here. So we have just the coefficients that go into our box. So we have 4, 23, and negative 16. So the coefficients of everything on the inside go into our box. And then on the outside, we put whatever's with our x, so that number that's all by itself, but we have to change the sign. Change the sign. So if it's a plus 5, we make it a minus 5 on the outside. Now, the next step, so we just set it up. Our first step is to drop down the 4, put it on the outside. Whatever we're doing on the outside, we have to multiply. If we're doing it on the inside, we add. So first thing we do is multiply negative 5 times 4. What's negative 5 times 4? Negative 20. So we put that right there. Then we add the two things on the inside together. So it's 23 minus 20. 3. And then again, that 3 is on the outside, so we multiply that to the negative 5. So it's negative 5 times 3. Negative 15, and we put that there. And then what is negative 16 minus 15? Awesome.
Wait,
Negative
I don't get
31.
it. How did we get 3?
We added these two.
Where'd you get the negative 20?
We multiplied on the outside.
Oh.
And then you put the answer inside the box. I'll show you. Yes, it is part of the answer. If we start with an x squared, our answer is just going to be 1x less than that. So this 4 is a 4x plus 3 with no x, because we're just descending. So if we start with x, our 3 has no x, and then our last number is always the remainder. And this is our answer. Four x plus 3, remainder negative 31. So this is just a different type of technique to use to divide polynomials. So inside the box is our big one. This is going to go inside. First thing we want to do is make sure all of our x's are there. So we have x squared, just an x, and no x, so we're good there. So we can put all of our coefficients inside the box. So we have 2, 7, 11. And then this goes outside, but remember we have to change the sign. So if it's a plus 2, we make it a minus 2 outside. We always start by dropping down this first number and putting it on the outside. Whatever's on the outside, we multiply. So we have negative 2 times 2. What's negative 2 times 2? Negative 4. So we put that here. Then we add what's on the inside. So what's 7 minus 4? 3. What do we do next?
Negative 2 times 3.
Negative 2 times 3. So what's negative 2 times 3? Negative 6. And then add the inside. What's 11 minus 6? 5. So we started with an x squared. So our answer is just going to be 1 less than that. So our answer starts with an x. And then plus our constant, and then remainder is our last number. So our answer is 2x plus 3, remainder 5. All right, next one. So the big one goes on the inside. We have an x cubed, an x, and a number. Are we missing any terms here? Yeah. We start with 3. We're missing that 2. So just like before, we have to put in here a 0x squared. So if we're missing any terms, you got to put that 0 there. Now we can put our coefficients inside the box. What's our coefficient of x cubed? If there's no number in front of it, what do we put? Here. What's our coefficient? The number in front. 1, thank you. Next, we have our x squared, so we said that is a 0. What comes next? Negative 13. And then? Negative 12. What do we put on the outside? Awesome. A positive 4, because we have to change the sign. Now we start by dropping down the 1. What do we do next? Multiply. What's 4 times 1? 4. What do we do next? Add them. So what is 0 plus 4? 4. What's next? No, not yet. Got to do something before that. 4 times 4. What's 4 times 4? 16. What's negative 13 plus 16? 3. What do we do next? Multiply. We always add on the inside and multiply on the outside. So we have 4 times 3, which is what? 4 times 3. 12. And then negative 12 plus 12? 0. So if our question up here started with x cubed, what is our answer going to start with? X squared. It's always 1 less than our question. So we have x squared plus 4. What do we put after the 4? No. X. We just decrease. If we started with x squared, the next number has x, the next number has nothing, and then the last number is always our remainder. So our answer here is x squared plus 4x plus 3. We have no remainder, so we don't need to write it. Next one. What's going to go on the inside? So remember, the coefficients, the number in front goes on the inside. So 1. What's next? 5, 11, and 15. Awesome. We're not missing any terms, so we don't have to include any zeros in there. We're good. What goes on the outside? -3. Got to change the sign. Don't forget to change the sign. What do we do first?
Drop down the 1.
Drop down the 1. And then?
Multiply that by -3.
Multiply. What's 1 times -3? -3. What do we do on the inside?
-3. Or -3.
We add them. So 5 minus 3 gives us 2. What's next?
Multiply
Multiply.
that.
-6. What's 11 minus 6?
5.
5. And then what? -3 times 5, which is -15. And then
0.
15 minus 15 is 0. So if our question started with x cubed, what's our answer going to start with? X squared. And then we have plus 2. What comes after the 2? X. And then plus 5. Does the 5 get anything? Nope. What's the 0? Our remainder. So our answer is x squared plus 2x plus 5. Next one. What goes on the inside? 1. What comes after 1?
1.
-1. Gotta watch out for your sign. It's a -1. Then what? -4. And then? 4. What goes on the outside?
2.
+2. Gotta change the sign. What do we do first? Bring down the 1. What's next? Multiply. What's 2 times 1? 2. What's -1 plus 2? 1. What's next? 2 times 1, which is 2. What's -4 plus 2? -2. What's next? 2 times -2 is -4. What's 4 minus 4? 0. So if our question started with x cubed, what's our answer going to start with? X squared. And then what comes next? X. Then -2. And then what's the 0? The remainder. So our answer is x squared plus x minus 2 with no remainder. Last one. What goes in the box? 1. Awesome. 1, 3, -1, and 2. What goes outside the box?
1.
+1. What do we do first? Drop down the 1, and then 1 times 1, which is 1. What's next?
4.
3 plus 1 is 4. What's next? 4 times 1, which is 4. What's -1 plus 4? 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And then what's 2 plus 3? 5. So if our question started with x cubed, what's our answer going to start with? X squared. What comes next? X. Then our constant. And then what's 5? Our remainder. So our answer is x squared plus 4x plus 3, remainder 5.